Oh, yeah. Okay, I call to order this regular scheduled meeting for the 34th City Council, April 8, 2025 at 7 p.m. Just a kind reminder, everyone in the audience, to please silence your cell phone or any communication devices as to not disturb the meeting. Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll?
Councilmember Enos.
Here.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Here.
Councilmember Abraham.
Here.
Councilmember Paris.
Here.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Here.
Councilmember Herrick.
Here.
Council President Sereni.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Councilman Mustafa Hammoud.
Thank you. It's my honor to introduce Pastor Albert LeBlanc from the Hope Lutheran Church, who will deliver tonight's invocation. I invite all who are able to please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Loving God, I thank you for the ability to be here this evening, for the beauty of this day and the wonder of the changing seasons. Governing authorities were created to promote peace, order, and justice. Therefore, I humbly ask for you to bless our mayor, our first responders, the various levels of city officials, and in particular, this assembled council. I am asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid these challenging times, a sense of the welfare and true needs of the citizens, a keen thirst for justice, confidence in what is good, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, personal peace in their lives, and joy in their task. Bless the agenda set before them this evening. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Dearborn. It is in your holy name I pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first item of business?
Item number 4 is the resolution by council members Enos and Abraham acknowledging Wayne County Metro liaisons Ali Kassab and Mohammed Othman for their continued residential support and assistance and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Councilman Enos is going to withdraw your offer.
Yes, Councilman.
So, Mr. Clerk, we're going to have Councilman Enos withdraw his offer and have the offer be from Councilman El Sawafi.
Okay?
For the record, okay. Thank you. We'd like to recognize two individuals, Ali and Mohammed, tonight for their exceptional work to the city of Dearborn residents. Ali and Mohammed are employed by Wayne County Metropolitan Community Action Agency as liaisons that work together with the city to assist our residents with a wide range of services, including translation assistance, referrals to Wayne County Metro programs, and in-person support as well. Ali and Mohammed have assisted approximately 5,615 Dearborn residents with these mentioned services. We are truly appreciative of their efforts to continue to build a stronger and more connected community. We wanted to make sure we recognize him from the 34th City Council. I'd like at this time to have Councilman El Sawafi make a couple of statements.
Thank you, Council President. I'm also proud to recognize Wayne Metro and two of its most outstanding team members, Ali Khassab and Mohammed Uthman, for your unwavering dedication to the residents of Dearborn. Wayne Metro has been a consistent and trusted partner for our city, stepping up time and again to support our community, especially our most vulnerable population, with over $1 million distributed as a part of the Water Residential Assistance Program. Ali and Mohammed, your leadership, compassion, and commitment to service is truly representative of the best of what community looks like. On behalf of the Dearborn City Council, it's my honor to present you with a citation today in recognition of your service. Thank you for all that you do.
All right, excellent. So I do know there's a couple people here from the Wayne Metro that'd like to speak before, and then once that's done, we're gonna have the council come down and have Ali and Mohammed come up to get their citations, and we can get a photo. Okay, if you'd like to step forward, just your name and
Sure.
title, I guess.
My name is Shama Monzer. I'm the Chief Programs Officer at Wayne Metro. Thank you so much for having me and my team here today. I am a proud Dearborn resident as well. Thank you for the recognition for our exceptional team members, Ali and Muhammad. They are truly committed to this community. They truly embody the mission at Wayne Metro, serving people with excellence, with dignity, and respect. Wayne Metro was founded in 1971 and has grown into one of the most forward-thinking community action agencies nationwide. Our operation budget is over $100 million. We're over 700 staff. We collectively speak 17 different languages. We have 21 sites across Wayne County, 3 of them in the heart of Dearborn. I am proud to announce that since we got in partnership with the city of Dearborn, we were able to support over 10,000 Dearborn residents with multiple programs. At Wayne Metro, we have 100 different programs that we offer to our Dearborn residents and Wayne County residents. Our main programs can be water assistance, early education, workforce development, plumbing repairs, minor plumbing repairs, weatherization programs, and many, many different programs. In the last 90 days, we were able to support over 600 residents with water assistance. Water assistance makes the biggest program for Wayne County. I am very proud today to be standing to recognize Muhammad and Ali. I am proud to call Dearborn my home, and I'm proud to say this partnership will last as long as Wayne Metro exists. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Someone else? Someone else here to speak on this? That's it? Okay, so what we're gonna do, I know, but let's get the picture. I mean, I think we got it, what we need. So at this point, what we're gonna do is just ask the council, there's a couple other acknowledgements regarding months that do not have citations. So I'd like to have the council come down and get a quick photo and make sure Ali and Muhammad are with us to get the citations. So if the council would like to come down. Good. Yeah, come down.
I think that's Kamal's phone that's doing the feedback.
Yeah, George.
Everybody scooch in. Turn sideways. Should we share some of this? You guys got it? All right. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. George? Thank you, sir.
Can you tell Keith Schuler to see what's that feedback is?
Yeah.
Couple hours. Yeah. All right, thank you all for that presentation. And still getting feedback. No, my mic's on. All right. All right, Mr. Clerk, a unanimous roll shall be attached for that item. Next item.
Item 5, resolution by council members Serini Council President Sereni and Council Pro Tem Herrick proclaiming April 2025 to be National Arab American Heritage Month in the city of Dearborn and encouraging our entire community to commemorate the special observance.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Dearborn's 34th City Council would like to recognize National Arab American Heritage Month in the city of Dearborn. The month of April serves to celebrate the rich, diverse culture and contributions by Arab Americans throughout our country. We not only recognize those that have made their mark in various fields of study, but we also recognize those who live within our community, the city of Dearborn, which boasts the largest and most diverse Arab American community across the nation. We are committed to making sure that these contributions to our country and our community are promoted and celebrated so that they are more widely understood and appreciated across our nation. So whereas the 34th Dearborn City Council proclaims April 2025 to be National Arab American Heritage Month in the city of Dearborn and encourage the entire community to commemorate this special observance. We also have somebody here, Mr. Anani, that helped put some of these things together around the country, and I'd like to step forward and just give some background on this.
All right. Good evening.
Just your name for the record.
My name is Hussein Anani. I used to be a Dearborn resident. We'll start off with that, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself in a second. But good evening, Council, Mayor Hamoud, and everybody in attendance. You didn't leave much for me, but I will do my best. So honestly, I'm humbled to be able to speak tonight. My role is that of, I was a team lead for Arab America Foundation for about 1.5 years. I stepped down about 1 year ago, but I still play a very active volunteering role. Arab America Foundation was the founder, I think, of what Arab American Heritage Month is in April. So it's really beautiful to see how it's come to, I think, the expansion that it has. But I'm here to support that, right? And say that as a person who was born into Dearborn and raised in Dearborn, I mean, I went to Maples, to Laurie, to Fortson, to U of M. It's something that I think we take a lot of pride in with our Arab community. They are your doctors, they're your lawyers, they're your educators, they're half of your councilmen, your mayor, and the list just goes on. These are people who have contributed so much to our community and made Dearborn such a beautiful place that it's been. I used to travel a lot for work, so it's been a wonderful experience when I do meet Arab on the road, and they know that Dearborn is the Mecca for Arabs. And so that's why I think today is such a big deal for this proclamation. It's more than just a piece of paper. I believe it's a statement. It's saying that we see you, we appreciate you, and we value everything that you've brought to the table as Arabs and contributed to our society, along with many other people. But it's just saying, hey, we're giving you a stage and giving the youth who take so much pride in celebrating their heritage, I think, a platform to do so. With that said, I appreciate everything you guys have done and continue to do with the city. I think you guys are making the right choice supporting this proclamation, along with many others, and I love to witness it, truly. So thank you very much.
Of course, thank you, Mr. Anani.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it. All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Mr. Clerk, can I have the next item?
Item number 6, resolution by Council President Sereni and Councilman Hamoud recognizing April 2025 as National Autism Awareness Month in the city of Dearborn and calling this observance to the attention of all of our employees, residents, and members of the business community.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. And autism spectrum disorder is a neurological and developmental disorder that affects the communication and behavior aspect. Individuals with autism require lifelong specialized support services to ensure their well-being and opportunities to reach their full potential. These services also help families manage the challenges of autism as it presents. The members of the 34th Dearborn City Council hereby recognize that April 2025 as National Autism Awareness Month in the city of Dearborn, and we called this as observance to all, attention to all our employees, residents, and members of our community, as well as business community. Any questions or comments on this? All right. Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Item 7, resolution by Council President Sereni and Councilmember Paris proclaiming the month of April 2025 as National Social Work Month in celebration and support of the social work profession.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And again, social workers have dedicated over a century to enhancing human well-being and meeting the fundamental needs of the individuals. These contributions positively impact millions of Americans daily across various settings, including educational institutions, healthcare facilitators, the military, child welfare organization, community centers, and government agencies on all levels. social workers constitute the largest group of mental health care providers in the United States. In recognition of the numerous contributions made by American social workers, the 34th City Council proclaims the month of April 2025 National Social Work Month in celebration and support of social work profession. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 8, resolution by Council President Sereni and President Pro Tem Herrick declaring April 28th, 2025 as Workers' Memorial Day in the city of Dearborn and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The 34th City Council would like to designate April 28, 2025 as Workers' Memorial Day in the city of Dearborn. This day we pay our respects to all those who have lost their lives on the job and recognize the impact these losses have made on their families, co-workers, and communities. We believe it's appropriate to honor the memory of the courageous and dedicated members of Michigan's workforce who have been injured, disabled, or have died because of workplace accidents. The City Council renews its effort in seeking stronger workplace safety and health protections, better standards and enforcement, and fair and just compensation, improving safety and health in our workplace. Therefore, the 34th City Council of Dearborn proclaims April 28, 2025 as Workers' Memorial Day in the city of Dearborn. Any questions or comments? All right, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. And, Mr. Clerk, the next item would be public comment?
Correct.
Okay, before we get to public comment, I'd like a motion to suspend the rules.
Suspend the rules.
Motion is made by Councilwoman Herrick. Any support? Supported by Councilman Enos. Any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached to suspend the rules. Mr. Clerk, we would like to move forward the condolences. Do you have the numbers in front of you?
Yes,
Okay, and,
27, 28, and 29.
all right, you can go ahead with 27.
Item number 27, resolution by Council President Pro Tem Herrick, supported unanimously, offering condolences to the family of Helen J. Van Dyke and requesting immediate effect.
Helen Van Dyke, who was passed away peacefully in her longtime Dearborn home on March 29th, 2025, on her 104th birthday. She is survived by her daughters Sylvia Grace and Mary Hope, and son Martin John, and his wife Kim Solarski, and her beloved dog Benji. She was preceded in death by her parents Albert and Mary Hoagie, and her sisters Laura Heaton and May O'Cray. During her exceptionally long life, Helen was actively engaged and always had the uncanny ability to overcome any obstacle. She was born in Detroit on March 29, 1921, and she had lost both her parents by the time she was 30. Helen first worked at St. Joseph's Retreat in Dearborn when she was still in her teens. She married the love of her life, Thaddeus Anthony Ted Van Dyke, in 1940. Ted was in the U.S. Army protecting the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco in World War II, and while he was away, Helen did her part as a Rosie the Riveter, right here at home. She worked on Navy bombers at the Chrysler DeSoto factory and was so productive on the line that her supervisor told her to slow down as she was exceeding her quota. After the war, Helen and Ted moved to Dearborn and started their family. They were founding members of St. Anselm's Church in Dearborn Heights, where Helen enjoyed singing in the choir. She returned to work in the 1960s as an optician in the Dearborn office of Dr. William Fortney, and then she worked in the optical departments at various Montgomery Ward and Sears outlets, finally retiring in her mid-80s. Helen would want her family and friends to rosy on in the coming days and keep that resilient, can-do approach to life going on. Her daughters are known fondly as Rosebuds, as the family daughters of other Rosie the Riveters are known. And Helen had been recognized recently by the Michigan Rosie the Riveter organization, and even received a Congressional Medal of Honor just last year. Her family received that in her honor. And I know that she loved Dearborn dearly. Over the past couple of years, my fellow members of City Council and I and the mayor all had the opportunity to meet Helen on her birthday when we did drive-by birthdays during COVID and celebrated on her front lawn last spring. It's been a pleasure getting to know her family, and I know that everyone who knew her will sincerely miss Helen and her spirit. On a personal note, I'd just like to say that Helen and the other Rosary the Riveters are an inspiration to myself and generations that have followed them. And I think that they all deserve a great tribute for the work that they did during World War II and continuing on in their own communities, just as Helen did. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about her. I know that there's a member of her family here in the audience. Jane O'Cray is here. I didn't know if Jane wanted to come up and say anything or not.
Yes, ma'am, if you like, you're more than welcome to approach and add some comments to that. Thank you, Councilwoman Herrick.
Thank you.
I would just like to say I'm Jane O'Cray. I'm her niece by marriage. Aunt Helen loved to celebrate life and was so excited when the Dearborn Fire Department and the Police Department, the motorcyclists, they all drove by last year on her 103rd birthday. And Silvio has been a big asset to the Van Dyke family, finding ways to help them. So I just want to say, in behalf of the family, thank you to the city of Dearborn for making her life a little more pleasant. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that. Any unanimous roll shall be attached. Mr. Clerk, can we have the next item?
Item 28 is a resolution by Council President Sereni, supported unanimously, offering condolences to the family of Sandra and Elliott and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. With solemn hearts, we are deeply saddened by the passing of Sandra Ann Elliott, born in Detroit, Michigan. Those whose vibrant spirit touched the lives of many and left this world on March 29, 2025, at the age of 78, leaving a void in the lives of so many people who cherished her. Ann was loved by her parents, James and Ellis, and her only sister, Miss Nancy Seawick. She married her love of her life, Joe Elliott, on October 14, 1976, who passed away in February of 2024 and left a hole in her heart. They were happily married for 48 years and were devoted parents of 2 daughters, Nancy and Kelly, and a stepson of Patrick. She was also the blessed and proud grandmother of 12 grandchildren. She will also be missed by many of her nieces, nephews, great-nieces, and great-nephews as well, and graduated from Eastern Michigan University in 1972 with a bachelor's degree in science and education. She received her master's degree of arts from Eastern Michigan in 1980 and in guidance counseling as well. She worked as a counselor for drug and alcohol abuse until her retirement in 2014. She was also a co-owner with her husband in 2 other businesses. We remember Ann with deep affection and gratitude for the vibrant life she lived and the generosity she shared with others. Her home was a living museum graced with antiques that told stories of the history and art and lovingly curated to reflect her keen eye and passion of the past. Ann's gatherings, whether for dinners, joyful parties, or meaningful fundraisers, were always warm and welcoming and full of heart. A child of the 1950s, Ann never lost her love for that golden era. Her 50s-themed parties were enjoyed throughout her youth, filled the music and style and laughter that brought her across generations. Just as her home was built with charm, she also did that with her garden, and it was a blooming testament to her love and nature and nurturing spirit. Ann was devoted to her family, friends, clients, animals, and her community. She created beauty in everything she touched and leaves behind a legacy of joy, generosity, timeless grace. She will be deeply missed and remembered. May her soul rest in peace. And to all, we offer our heartfelt sympathy and condolences. Thank you. If anyone is here would like to speak on that, all right. I did have an opportunity to go to our Howell Peterson home to visit and pay my final respects to her. I always say that you could tell by the gathering of people of how much people do impact others. You know, when you do leave this life, because we all will, it shows the sign that you left a place, a lot better place. And to walk into a funeral and see that many people and familiar faces celebrating the life of Anne was truly remarkable for me. So it was something I wanted to make sure I did attend. And a unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 29, resolution by Council President Sereni, supported unanimously, offering condolences to the family of Merrill McKeever and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Merrill McKeever, a longtime resident of the city and the city of Dearborn employee, passed away sadly on April 5th, 2025 at the young age of 51. Merrill was the beloved wife of Paul McKeever II and a beloved mother of 8 children. Also 2 grandchildren, Aubrey and Aiden as well. Merrill served the city of Dearborn, the Finance Department, with dedication, kindness, and unwavering work ethic, which touched all who met her deeply. Merrill began her career with the city of Dearborn account specialist, and through her hard work and determination, she rose through the ranks, being promoted 4 times in just 5.5 years, resulting as an accountant 3. It was just Merrill's professional, it's not just her professional accomplishments that set her apart. She never complained when faced with challenges and always took on additional responsibilities with a smile. Merrill's humanity and genuine kindness were felt by everyone that was around her. She consistently made time to connect with her colleagues, offering helping hand whenever anything was needed to be done, and showed her sincere interest in well-being and happiness for others. Merrill's infectious smile and positive energy brightened the office every day. She treated everyone she met with the utmost respect, never missing an opportunity to show kindness or compassion. Her impact will live on and in the countless lives of the people she touched. She leaves behind a work culture that will forever be richer because of her kindness and dedication and genuine care for others. She was also our accountant for the City of Council Department and worked very well with us and helped us tremendously as our new transition came as well through. We extend our heartwarm sympathy and sincere condolences to the Merrill's family, friends, and all those people that she had touched their life and inspired. And the unanimous roll shall be attached. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next item.
So now we're back to item number 9, public comment.
Public comment. Okay, we return to our regular council agenda. And we have comment cards. If anybody here in the council would like, in the chambers would like to speak, please fill out one of these comment cards. If not, you could just kindly be recognized and we'll have you come forward and speak. First, we have Crystal Palsy. I'm sorry? Paulson. Okay, I apologize. Couldn't read that.
Fine, Mike. I'm addressing you guys tonight.
Okay, we just need you to say your name and address for record,
Crystal
please.
Paulson. I'm mother of Dearborn advocate. When I was taking my son to Nellen yesterday, who is also autistic, he's medically treated, and because of bright behavior in Dearborn, my son's a normal little boy with superpowers. Anyways, he was in the back of the seat. And as we were going to school to the drop-off, a Dodge Ram decided to bust the U-turn. And he couldn't properly turn because of the parked cars that was on the opposite side. So he threw his truck in reverse and he backed all the way up. His bed of the truck was over the school property on the sidewalk. Students and parents were walking. He didn't think about their safety. He didn't think about the safety of the people that were behind him in the drop-off line. They're coming through where I was because my son is in first grade. So you had people that were coming the opposite way. He obstructed traffic. He came this close to my car. We looked face to face. Long story short, as a mother, I'm not okay with it because the reckless driving is way out of hand in the city, and I think every single one of us, all the residents, can agree with it because it's ridiculous. Okay, so when I come home, I find out that the person that almost hit me is my neighbor. So I went shopping and I dropped a lot of money, And I told my husband that he can't complain because I did it for my mental health. Because I wanted to feel happy, so I dropped $400 on Easter for the kids because that made me happy. So if he had any problem, for him to go to the police department. So I contacted everybody from the superintendent to the board members. I talked to the SRO, I talked to the principal. All right, we need no U-turn signs in front of the schools. We need speed bumps, we need traffic cones for the drop-off. And especially, I understand that police can't be everywhere. Our city is massive, I understand that. But when there's multiple events that have taken place recently and police have been there more, added extra bodies for security purposes, understandable. If we can do that, why can't we do it for drop-off? We already have a student who's fighting for her life. I pray for every day. Parents, especially the sister, okay? We don't need to lose another kid, especially in the elementary. Nowlan has a huge population of autistic children. They elope with the drop-off, with that traffic. If one of the ASD students eloped and ran in traffic, it's done. It's no more for that. It's no more. Please do something. I understand that it goes through the traffic committee. I will be happy to speak as a mother, but we need to do something. This is something that the city and the schools or the district needs to work hand in hand because our kids are priceless. We can't replace them. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Crystal. I can tell you, and I'm sure the mayor would like to chime in, but I just wanted to thank you for coming forward and appreciate bringing this forward to us. I can tell you that the administration, I'm have the mayor speak on it too, but the council has fully supported a tremendous amount of traffic calming measures, and they did start for specifically the school areas because we are aware of that. But Mayor, would you like to shed some light on that?
Yeah, of course. We appreciate you coming in and sharing the story. And we share the same sentiment. I think speeding reckless driving is the top issue across the entirety of the city. As it pertains to traffic calming measures, speed humps in particular, we have a shipment of 300 speed humps that has arrived and that are starting to get rolled out. Hopefully will be fully installed by the summer. You notice maybe that some of the light up stop signs have been being installed, radar signs are being added.
Why can't
cross traffic
the
signals
humps
being added.
be before school ends? Because someone's gonna get hurt. This needs to be addressed immediately. As a mother, that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, I hear you. A part of it has to do with weather and breaking into the concrete and stuff, and so our public works team is working on it. We've signed off on overtime being utilized on weekends to get these speed traffic calming measures in place, and the first target is parks and schools.
Is there any way that we can make this Madison in front of the school right there, one way?
I'm not sure
We can
about
take that back. I can't give you an answer offhand.
Is that something that we can look at?
Yeah, everything is obviously something that we can explore, and so we can definitely take that
Yeah,
back.
I mean, a
and-
one-way street requires a lot more
Yeah.
traffic.
I
But
understand
yeah, we
that.
could definitely look at it, because we have to rely on our engineering experts to provide us the information to say that will actually fix it. But what we can do, as the mayor indicated, we put in those speed humps under this administration, and immediately we had thousands of requests from, I mean, everybody wanted them. But we focused on the schools first, and once we had the data, Mayor, correct, we now issued, how many, 300 more are coming?
Yeah, we have 300 more with several hundred other traffic calming measures, including high-risk concrete crosswalks. So,
Yes.
speed hump costs about $1,200 a piece. A high-risk concrete crosswalk costs about $35,000 to $50,000 a piece. But we got grants for about $1.5 million, which is how we were able to purchase
Yep.
all this.
So it's coming, hopefully, not fast enough.
I
but
would
we're
like
working.
to be, if you guys can keep me posted with the information, I'd appreciate it.
Of course.
Because this is a huge concern.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just gonna have Jackie, yeah, I'll have our executive, because you didn't put any.
I know, there's other people that have my numbers, Sylvia can contact me.
Okay, great.
So,
All right,
thank you.
thank you so much. All right, next we have Miss Rachel Knight. Bring it over. One more.
Hi, good evening. My name's Rachel Knight. I'm also a Dearborn resident. And I'm here to ask a few questions because I did search the city website and I couldn't find the information I was looking for. And that has to do with the rally that took place on Saturday, the Hands Off Dearborn. My understanding through some communication on another person's webpage, Silvio Davis had said that you either had to have a permit to gather or gather for free speech in front of the library. So my question is, I couldn't find any information on the website to say what was true, what was not. Was permitting obtained for that? Because there was a lot of traffic on Michigan Avenue. There was a lot of backup. And a friend of mine, actually, her son almost got in an accident because of all of the mayhem going on down there. So that's the first part of my question. And the second part of my question is, Ms. Herrick was there speaking, and she had on her city logo jacket. So was this a city-sanctioned event? Was she speaking on behalf of the city?
Okay, well, let me address, Ms. Knight, thank you for those
Because
questions.
it would appear that way to some watching it.
All right, well, I mean, Councilwoman Herrick can speak for herself, but I can tell you the rules of the council. But first, to address the first part about the permit, that's a great question because some people do ask whether you need one or not. So I'm going to have our lawyer explain to you the law has a specific provision. We always, if we see a flyer, just to let you know, and we know it's going to be an issue or a sizable one, we try to contact the event organizers to make sure that we can assist and make sure there's no issues. But Mr. Romer, can you at least just give her the legal aspect as far as what is considered free speech that does not require a permit? So your answer on that one, it did not. Okay. But let him explain to you. Mr. Romer.
Yeah, so by code, the city has free speech zones that are identified. You have one in front of the Henry Ford Library, yes. And then the spot in between the Performing Arts Center, the court, and the police station. But parks under the law are traditional public forums, and they're exempt under our code from the permit requirement. So unless you are renting a pavilion, you may peacefully assemble within the park space, but again, you're still required to comply with other code requirements such as noise and things, but you do not need a permit to peacefully assemble in a park.
Okay, so what about the traffic issues that were caused from the gathering?
Well, as the council president indicated, typically if we become aware of the size of event, we allocate resources as needed for closures or police presence.
Well, the city was aware 4 days before of this event coming.
I'm not aware of what event transpired at the park, the size of the park, or how much notice the city was given, if any. All I'm trying to do is answer your question as to whether they can peacefully assemble in a park, and the answer to that question is yes, they can do so without a permit.
And it does not matter the size, the quantity of people?
Again, from a legal standpoint, under the law, traditional public forums are regulated in a manner where as long as you're peacefully assembling and in compliance with other code requirements such as noise, you're permitted to do so in the park.
Okay.
All right, and then regarding, and I'm glad you brought this up because I've talked to some council members because I'm in the belief that whether you're wearing an emblem or anything, you know, you're a council member, you've been elected. That's why I put all those pictures back up there so some of the members can look and see where they're, you know, what it means and so on and so forth. So for myself, that is, to answer the question, it was not a city event, number one. Number two, though, I do believe that our council members, whether they're wearing anything representing the council, are there in an elected capacity. Because I do believe that. I don't think you can separate it. Some council members think they can go to commission meetings and zoning meetings and they're not bothering nobody. I disagree with that. I believe that when you are there, you're representing yourself and your autonomy. But it doesn't mean that you are there on official business for the city. You have your own elected office. So it's not a city authorized or a city function or city supported function.
Would you agree that wearing an item stating that it's city attire, that kind of might indicate to people that you might be there more in an official capacity?
I mean, me personally, I can speak for myself, but I told my members that in the council too, that before these 34th council, before every one of those picture people up there, no one would ever go to zoning meetings or planning meetings because whether you're wearing something or not, people know that you're an elected official. So it brings a bad sign on that aspect. But it's not a city event, and there's events that I attend as well too that I can be said, you know, are you there as a city? No, but I don't believe you can shake your title from where you go. Okay, so.
All right.
Did you want to speak?
Yes.
Councilwoman Herrick.
Thank you, Council President. I am honored and humbled to represent the residents of Dearborn. And the residents of Dearborn have many different interests and concerns. We heard from a resident who was, family was impacted by somebody who was being inconsiderate and dangerous driving because her child has autism and is a student. We support families with special needs in every respect. If I go to an autism event, I am listening to their needs and concerns, and I'll bring them back and do the best I can to meet their needs in my role on City Council. The same goes with the hundreds of Dearborn and Dearborn area residents who came to that rally on Saturday. It was a rally that was held across the country. We saw hundreds of thousands of people come out for the hands-off events across the country. But right here in Dearborn, hundreds of residents are concerned about what's happening at the national level, about things that will possibly impact them, from ranging from Social Security to their medical care now and in the future, and their families, for support of things like the arts, for environmental concerns when it comes to grants that we receive and support from the federal government, tax dollars that come back here to meet the needs and concerns of our residents. And so, although I go to those events just like our other state elected officials, our congressperson was at that event, we're there to listen to the needs and take back what we hear from residents to meet their concerns going forward. So whether it's an event like the one that was held on Saturday, or if it's an event representing the needs of our veterans, when they come together and say that there is some need that they have, I will go and I will listen and I will do my best to meet their needs going forward. And I wear the logo of the City Council, the seal of the City Council with pride. I know I'm not always representing every member every day. When I go to something, an organization with, say, a particular religious affiliation, I'm still listening to their needs and concerns and doing my best at the city level to represent them going forward. And one of the hardest things about our job is knowing that as hard as we listen and try to do our best, there's always going to be somebody who's of a different mindset, almost always of a different mindset. And we can't meet everybody's expectations every day. We just have to do the best that we can to move our city forward so that we can live here peacefully side by side with the many differences that we have and find what we have in common that brings us together. And I'm proud to try to do that every day. Thank you.
May I say one more thing?
This is not a dialogue.
Did you have anything else?
Yeah, I was just going to say one more thing. So I understand that it was legal for a group to gather and what have you. What about the traffic situation and the dangerous? I mean, she admitted herself there were hundreds of people there.
Absolutely. So Ms. Hunt, whenever that gathering is whether officers in the street or we get aware of it, some maybe from our social media account managers, we do send officers there to make sure that this peace is being kept and it's peacefully protested. And so there, from my understanding, I was not there, from my understanding, there was a police presence there that came by and it was peaceful.
Can I get documentation of that? Like just what
No,
kind
we
of,
don't.
you know, or
I
do I need to do
don't-
FOIA for that?
No, I think, yeah, I don't know if FOIA's cover like police runs, so you would have to look into that, but I mean, all I could tell you is that that's what was there, so.
Okay,
Thank you so much. All right, next we have Mr. Ted, I'm sorry, Councilman Paris, yes.
I have a comment.
Thank you, Council President.
Of course.
I just want to address an issue, and I understand the concerns that are brought forward, and I understand the perspective of my fellow council member. But I will say something was already mentioned by our council president about council members attending some various meetings, which would include the zoning or the planning commission. I'm going to be honest with you here right now and say this. I attended a planning commission meeting last night. I attended because it was dealing with some issues that I know are important to the community, that are important to the administration, and that are important to me in particular as a council member too. So I wanted to be there. And no, I didn't have anything identifying myself as a council member, but I was there to listen, not to interfere, not to go up and speak, not to go and talk to any of the commissioners, not to go and talk to anybody that was in the audience, but just to listen so I can hear the back and forth. So when an item does come before the city council, I'm aware of it, of some things that took place that maybe others may not have had that information, and I can see the actual person-to-person comments and suggestions and anything that would go on at that planning commission. I will tell you also that I went to the planning commission not too long ago too, as regards to the development of the old Hyatt Regency. Because I, again, on my own volition, I'm not speaking for anybody else, I went because I know it's an important topic to the administration. I know it's an important topic to us on council. I know it's an important topic to all our residents because it's been ongoing. So I went to it. Do I seek permission from anybody to go to it? No, I don't. I do it on my own. I've gone to other traffic commissions. I've gone to recreation meetings. I've gone to City Beautiful meetings. And the only comment that I will tell you right now, because of what I just heard, I'll be darned if anybody is going to tell me or suggest to me that they're going to limit or put any restrictions on me going to any public meeting. Whether I'm a resident or I'm a member of this Dearborn City Council, I will continue to go to a meeting of interest and for me to go ahead and stand up for what I believe in and for the residents of this community. And that's not grandstanding. It's just that this item has come up before, wanting to restrict me and maybe some others from going to meetings of this sort. And I'll be damned, it's not going to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Pierce. Next, we have Mr. Ted Barham.
Ted Barham, I'm a Dearborn resident. I have two things to talk about. First, I just want to say thank you because the last time I was here, I was concerned about security for the Peacemakers Conference that we were going to have in the Henry Ford Centennial Library. And I mentioned how a couple of Jewish people had pulled out because of their concerns for security. And I'm very happy to report that the conference went very well. We brought over, for the sake of anyone who doesn't know, you know, but we brought over a gentleman from Palestine, a gentleman from Israel. They used to be on sides that were fighting against each other. The one was an assassin for Fatah, the PLO, the other was a Mossad agent, and now they're working together for peace. So it was good to have that Peacemakers event. As Christians, we're commanded, we're told, blessed are the peacemakers. So we wanted to do that. And thank you for your help in making that peaceful. We appreciated the cooperation of the police. So I just wanted to make that very clear that that was a very peaceful thing, and I want to say how grateful I am for that. The second thing I want to talk about is during, I mean, actually every day, but especially during the month of Ramadan, I'm not complaining about this. I'm just saying that in my part of Dearborn, in East Dearborn, I was hearing multiple calls to prayer very loudly from the mosques, and it was as loud as if I was living in, you know, Lebanon, Pakistan, Yemen, somewhere like that. So that's what I was experiencing, and I continue to experience them now, not quite as loudly. And what I would like to ask for is, as we lead up to Easter, for churches to have the permission to do the same thing. A couple of churches have expressed interest in doing that. So we have already had the opportunity to do that from park shelters, and that's been good, but now a couple of church buildings are interested in doing that, just like the mosques are doing it. So for some sort of parity. And so I would just like for your permission to do that as we lead up to Easter. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bahram. As you As you're aware, the ordinance regarding bells or sound or call to prayer has not been changed by this council. So I did have some calls that indicated that there was some noise that exceeded our ordinances, which I did contact the institution on that to make sure that they were in compliance. But as far as giving permission, there's no permission needed because we have an ordinance, and Easter is recognized holiday all over, so hopefully you'll enjoy it and enjoy your time then.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right, any other-
One last thing,
any
sorry.
other-
Is
I'm
my
sorry,
3 minutes over?
No, go ahead. I didn't know.
One last
Just
thing.
keep it- You got something else?
Yeah, just, sorry, I
Yeah,
forgot.
go ahead.
Just as an example of how there can be harmony between people from different perspectives in terms of faith. I appreciate how the Honorable Mayor was at the preschool of my little boy yesterday, and apparently my little boy was speaking with him about his remote control car. So anyway, thank you for that. Yeah.
All right, that's great.
He's much better looking than I am. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Any other cards? All right, anyone else here to address the city council? Okay, step forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Salah Ali, Dearborn resident. I just want to say a few things. One, I just want to recognize the city and appreciate everyone for allowing the call to prayer throughout the city and being able to give us the religious freedom to practice our religion. So thank you for that. It's very near and dear to Muslims, so I appreciate that. Secondly, I really appreciate Councilman Herrick and Councilman Paris to really go beyond the scope of City Council and be your own self, have the free will to be the resident, to attend commissions and attend public forums in your own personal capacity. You have the every right to, right? As long as you're not breaking the law, you have the right to do and attend these meetings. And if you will, you may collect some information and see how you could, in an official capacity, serve those concerns. So I think it's a win-win, and I appreciate you guys for doing so. So with that, I was at the DAC earlier today. I had some questions regarding the upcoming elections, specifically absentee voting as well as early voting. And they said that the council have not yet determined the dates for each of those. Are you guys aware, and what are those dates, and when will we be expecting those dates?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ali. And the clerk in his budget hearings has begun to ask about how many dates we're going to have, 9, 6, or 3, so we haven't gotten through where we're going to land on at this time yet, and I'm sure they'll be coming up soon. Unless, Mr. Clerk, you had come up, we haven't come up with that. You like to speak on it?
We had discussed going from 9 early voting days to 3 early voting days because the crowds won't be as large as they were in the presidential. We're not required to do any early voting days, but I still think it's important that we do some early voting days. So my conversations with the council was to lower the amount from 9 days to 3 days, and we're getting ready to finalize that, but we haven't quite finished up those conversations.
Is it resource issues that's limiting the days?
So if I can comment on that point.
Yeah, Mayor, go ahead.
Yeah, it's fully funded for all 9 early days of voting within the budget as it was proposed.
Okay.
So it accounts for the total expenditures that we expect based on the early voting.
And what would limit the days to reduce it to 3 if the budget includes it? All 9 days? Why not offer it?
It's offered right now. Again, it's not a state requirement. And
Understood.
So the reason why we thought 3 would be plenty is because we don't get the turnout and everybody could attend those 3 early voting days. They've got absentee that they can vote. They've got the day of the election they can vote, and we thought 3 early voting days would be enough for the people that needed to come early.
Yeah, but some may consider it a suppression in voting by limiting it. Since it's budgeted and we have the resources, I would encourage council to allow the full 9 days to encourage people to go out and vote, because we have an educational in voting issue here in the city. People don't understand the importance of voting, and limiting it and not giving them the opportunity that is most convenient limits and suppresses that opportunity. So I would implore you all to consider the full 9 days, considering it's already been budgeted.
Thank you very much. Anything else, Mr. Ali?
Secondly is the fugitive dust ordinance. I put in a request for data, And the intent is to do a correlation study with the enforcement aspect of the ordinance in relation to the data collected by the air quality monitors installed by Just Air. I know this was submitted maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Wanting to understand, is there an update on that information and when one would expect it?
Yeah, did you submit that to the city council?
I submitted it to city council members.
Okay, so I would recommend that you ask those, you could talk to them offline.
Well,
We never received it from for the council.
That's fine. I am here and they are here as well. So does anybody have any updates on that?
Well, if any council member would like to speak towards it, yeah. Councilman Al-Sawafi?
I did put it through Monday.com, and that's straight to the administration, and I believe the administration had a response, if you're familiar with that, or not?
I haven't looked at the response. I'm assuming you, so
Or
what are
did
the-
you get a hold on, doesn't Monday.com, don't the response come back to the person who requested it?
Of course.
I don't know if you
So
got a
you didn't-
response.
so you did get it?
I don't have the response before me.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
What's the?
We didn't get anything,
Particular
right?
question, sorry.
For him? Okay. So, Mr. Ali, our executive is indicating that it went through the proper channel, then Councilman Al-Sawafi got his response. So I suggest maybe after the meeting, you could talk to him and give him his response.
I mean, there's no reason why we can't discuss it here. If
No,
he would like
No,
to.
no, Mr. Ali, you have 3 minutes. We have the whole agenda to go through.
Sure. Mr. Al-Sawafi,
So-
would you like to share anything?
We just asked him and he asked the mayor. So
Excuse
do
me,
you have the
he can
report?
speak on his behalf. He's an elected
Mr. Ali,
official.
Mr.
Can
Ali,
you please have him
we're
speak?
trying to run a meeting here.
I understand.
Mr. Al-Sawafi, we deferred to the mayor. The mayor hasn't seen it. Do you have something now do you remember?
Well, I did remember
Okay, let's
before,
go ahead
but
and speak
once
if you
the
like to
mayor
it so it
wanted
can
to
be
add-
done.
But generally, the response was, no, I just wanted to see if the mayor wanted to add anything to it, or if he got a
Okay.
chance to see it. I'm sure there's a lot that goes through Monday.com, so I don't expect the mayor to have that readily off the top of his head. But generally, the response was to go through the FOIA process, without going through the details. And that was the response.
So did you relay that to him? Because it's 3 weeks.
Yes, the
Oh,
resident.
so you knew.
So-
The resident
so-
got the same response I did.
Okay, that's excellent.
So I would implore or hope that one of the council members will help in collecting the data for the sake of the research and correlation study that we're trying to achieve, or even propose the idea to the health department doing that correlation study between the data collected from the ordinance versus the air quality monitor data.
All right, thank you very much.
And lastly, there was a flooding with the latest rain event that occurred on Riverside not too long ago. There still has been flooding issues on that road or that street, and wondering, has anybody looked into it to understand what it is that's causing these floods to continue to occur on Riverside?
Mr. Mayor, did you want to talk on, I know I talked to Director Hawkins that at the last event, we were very concerned where there was actually one home that was flooded in the entire 35,000, so that must have been the house.
Was that the one on Canterbury?
Yes, the Canterbury. So do you have anything on that, Mayor?
I don't have an update. I think our team went out and determined that it was not from the city side as it pertains to the flooding. Overall, we received about 2.72 inches of rain in the east end, about 2.4 inches of rain in the west end. Our system handles a little over 3 inches every 24 hours. We saw more severe flooding in neighboring cities. We think actually one of the reasons we didn't flood as severely was due to some of the log jam removal that we did along the Rouge River. We cleared over 52 log jams there, and that actually lowered the water level heights over at the Rouge River, and actually speeds up now the rate at which water passes through and clears our system and goes on to its larger basin of water. I don't have a specific answer for you as it pertains to Riverside. It could be that the catch basin was full, and that prevented maybe water from going down and flooding a street temporarily. I do know in talks with council in the last public works budget, I guess some decade ago or so, there used to be a contract on the books that would talk about clearing out every catch basin across major roadways in the city. We're exploring actually every catch basin across the city. There's about 11,000 of them, because even when the street sweeper comes over it, what happens is we find on neighborhood walks, a lot of the trees and weeds and leaves and stuff are stuck within the grade itself. So although a street sweeper might go over. So we're exploring an opportunity right now, whether it's public work staff going out on weekends or supplementing with some contractors to go through and try to clear out all 11,000 grates after the snow melt, in order for us to try to alleviate some of those concerns where water might pile up on a significant rainfall.
Is that
Thank
an
you.
annual process that they clean the catch basins every year after?
So we are looking at trying to establish an annual catch basin cleaning, separate from street sweeping, because street sweeping is not clearing out the actual catch basin itself. When we go on neighborhood walks, me and my team tend to clear out the grates that we come across, but there's 11,000 of them across the city, and so we have to, figure that out. And I know council brought that up, and we're working on that.
You're right,
And
yeah,
when
that
is-
was a council initiative, so hopefully we'll get the data and we'll go from there.
And do you know when this year's catch basin cleanup will plan?
We don't have it established. We're working on trying to determine number of catch basins, cost per catch basin, what a cost of such a program would look like, and then hopefully bring it forward to council to.
There
to
has
fund it.
never been a program.
Yeah,
We
there hasn't been one.
initiated, I initiated it in the council budget hearing, and we're looking into, so there's never been one before when, in
All right, thank you guys very much, I appreciate it.
You got it, thank you. Mr. Clerk, I know we expended a little overtime.
Yes.
Is there any other cards?
No.
All right, so at this time, 8:04, we will close. Yeah. We will close the public portion, and we have another one at the end of the meeting as well. So before we move into the consent agenda, are there any items that any member would like, wish to remove from the consent agenda and discuss individually? All right, hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, item number 10, then we need a resolution in need of offer and support.
Okay, offered by Councilman Enos, supported by Councilman Abraham.
This is approving all the items on the consent agenda and requesting immediate effect.
All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll?
Councilmember Enos?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Councilmember Paris?
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi?
Yes.
Councilmember Herrick?
Yes.
Council President Sereni?
Yes.
The resolution is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have the next item?
Next item, then will be item number 16, resolution by council members Enos and Herrick approving the minutes of the previous regular meeting of March 18th, 2025.
All right, are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to these minutes? All right, hearing and seeing none, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 17, ordinance number 25-1839, introduced by Council President Pro Tem Herrick. Synopsis, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Dearborn by amending Article 1.00 entitled Short Title Rules of Construction and Definition, Article 4.00 entitled Off-Street Parking and Loading Requirements, Article 7.00 entitled Side Development Standards Applicable to Specific Uses, Article 16.00 entitled BC General Business District, and Article 18 entitled 1A or IA Light Industrial District. Resolution by council members Paris and Hamud to table the ordinance.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. And mobile food establishments are unique land use from zoning perspective. They are a temporary food structure designed to be mobile, while zoning is typically reserved for permanent land use approvals. The existing zoning ordinance effectively prohibits food trucks from operating on private property unless it receives approval from the city council as a temporary use or a special event license. Following extensive review and consideration involving policies and trends, it's recommended to establish a pathway for food trucks that will recognize the potential for placemaking and business startups while balancing the city's broader land use objectives. A summary of some of these changes are permit to food trucks in BC and IA zoning districts subject to special land use approvals, which they are not permitted in the city's 4 districts now and will not be as well in the future as far as East Downtown, West Downtown, our Dix-Ferner corridor, and our Warren Avenue corridor. This is to support existing brick and mortar restaurants as well as future development with each of the tax incremental financing areas that I mentioned. Food truck parks are only permitted as a primary use of the property. There's a third is a requirement of require a permanent building on the property that operates as a licensed mobile food established commissary and provides washroom facilities for the patrons. This is to ensure the use operates effectively and is consistent with health code regulations. Next, we prohibit the use of generators on the food truck parks. In the food truck parks, electrical access must be provided for each individual food truck. Based on the recommendation from the Planning Commission, the staff has revised the ordinance to mandate the installation of an exterior gravity release grease interceptor. This measure is intended to ensure that the plumbing systems can adequately support the site activities without causing violations to public codes. And lastly, a permit for commissary kitchens as permitted land use in IA district. These types of facilities are not open to the public for food service and are focused on offering areas of food prep and storage of food as well. A public hearing was held on March 10, 2025. The recommended motion was to be adopted by the Planning Commission. This is the first of two readings, and we've had many meetings on food trucks. It's a challenge, folks, because we're trying to balance the interests of our brick and mortar businesses while allowing small businesses and from what I call proof of concepts in food truck operations. So this is the first of two readings, and we have some comments from our council members. Councilman El Swafi.
Thank you, Council President. Just for the administration, just to put in simple terms, this is just going to remove food trucks from places like gas stations, correct? Is that correct?
This eliminates co-sharing and establishes rules for where, establishes the zoning requirements for where food trucks can operate, just like any other business. So if you wanted to open a restaurant, you could open up a restaurant, similar in that. But co-sharing of gas stations, mechanic shops, we've seen them at car washes, car lots, we do away with it, you need your own parcel. And then they provide you BC and IA zoning, which is vast across the entirety of the city.
And I agree, it should be regulated. My next question is, this is going to take into effect immediately after the second reading? Is that what you?
No, the goal was in talks with council. I know you missed the mayor's briefing and the study session that we had with food truck owners the day before. But it's to try to put in a 90 to 100-day trigger before it goes into effect.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
I put it like end of August, September, or sometime around there.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman and Mayor. Councilman Hammoud.
Yeah, so I'll talk more on how good I think this is when we're actually going to go vote on it. But for now, for one thing, I wanted to offer an amendment to expand this to IB zoning, which is very close and ancillary to IA zoning. We just didn't include it in this draft, but I think the areas that it would cover are very similar to the IA zoning. You're just excluding a couple of parcels. And IB is usually warehousing, which is actually slightly more intense, but not super intense. But more importantly, I think it allows for less intense uses on those same properties, the same way we did with special land uses in the Commerce Drive area, for example. So,
all right. So, Councilman Hammoud, you supported it. So, Councilman Paris, do you agree to offer for your offer to amend and add IB to this?
To add to the BC and IA?
Yes.
I don't have a problem.
You want
Okay.
Kennedy to speak to it at all?
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure
Yeah,
if
I wouldn't
they
have an
first, because
objection.
if he doesn't have the support, we can wait and get it for the next one, but you are supportive of it. So then I would ask for our planning division to please, you don't have to come up. Please send a memo to the council and the council executive or to all council on your take on IB being added and your whether it's you agree or disagree as well, so that so we can have a clear statement, and then we can take it up from there as well. Oh yes, as well as the map of the IB as well. All right, since it's the first reading, we'll add that as an amendment, Mr. Clerk and Jackie. So you have it there that we're going to add IB to the BC and IA, and then we'll further spell it out once we have our planning division give us their way in.
And then just
Okay, we got to go.
yeah, just one other comment.
Yes, of course, Councilman.
Yeah, I think this is really great work just because providing regulatory certainty to food trucks is so important for anybody who's running a business, because right now everything is so unregulated. It's like the Wild West out there with food trucks. So while I wouldn't just say this is exclusively to get them out of gas stations, I think that's kind of like a whack-a-mole approach. What this is kind of the opposite, where we're going to guide them towards certain areas, and then even in those areas that are generally away from residential, I think we are balancing brick and mortar, but I think also very important to all of us that we didn't say yet is balancing the needs of residents at home. You know, I think one of the big things that we've had issues with is whether it be generators running at night and waking people up. We've heard that at meetings, right? And we kept telling everybody relief is on the way. And so I think this is one of those big ones where, you know, we're actually finally getting to it almost, you know, 2 years later. So.
All right, thank you, Councilman Hammoud. Councilman Paris?
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to make certain too that I'm really in agreement with a lot that is taking place with this ordinance revision, because I really feel the need that we have to regulate the food trucks and some of their locations within the city. I do have a question though, and I don't know, I don't want to put the city clerk on the spot, but if there's a roundabout number right now for any permits for food trucks, how many that we have that we know of at this particular time?
We have food truck licenses.
Yeah.
There
There is a difference, you're right.
Mr. Mayor? Okay. Mr. Clerk, can you answer that for
There's
Councilman?
about 40 to 50
That's
licenses now for food trucks.
That's what I
And
thought.
just to clarify though, some of those food trucks, like we, based on ordinance today, would require a food truck to pull a license to operate one day in the year in the city of Dearborn.
Right.
So a lot of those food trucks aren't operational in
No,
the
of
city of
course.
Dearborn,
Yes.
but they pass through at some point.
Okay, I just wanted to get a perspective how many we might be dealing with. The reason why I'm bringing it up is I know some of the IA zone properties, and we do have a legend with a map in our backup, that it seems to be 1A, it's pretty much dispersed throughout the city in very, very small locations that we might have some areas zoned 1A. I'm not saying that I have a concern, because I don't think a lot of those areas are really going to be impacted in that they will want food trucks in those areas. But I do have a concern, and it's already been brought up in some of our discussion, neighborhoods. Some of these IA zoned areas are within neighborhoods, and I just counted, anyways, I think there's 18 to 20 or 18, 19, even if they're small, different areas that are close to residential areas. And I'm just wondering if it might be something that we could look at as far as making it restrictive to the point of not within 500 feet of a residential area, or some number that we could come up to. The only reason being is because you're dealing with noise, you're dealing with people that are gathering, depending on the time of the day, with the food truck. You're talking about extra odor within the neighborhoods. And I'm just wondering from a distance anyways, from that we can possibly just even look at something like that.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I guess, like I said, it's first reading. We can definitely look into that and see what would be an aspect for it as well.
No, I understand the special land use, but I'm just wondering, there's so many in the area.
Right.
That's all I have to bring up.
Yeah, all right.
this
Thank you,
time.
Councilman.
Thank you.
Councilman Al-Swafi, you had something to add?
Yep, thank you, Council President. As far as the timeline, I don't see it on here.
Yeah, we just noted we're gonna put 100 days for the second reading.
Well, the timeline is up to the council.
Correct.
So we all agree that we got to give them some stay, but we also have abandonment issues with food trucks that are being left on parcels. And so it's going to have to be a discussion on which way we want to go.
Right, nor was mentioned earlier that was August or what day, I didn't see it on here.
90 to 120 is at the suggestion that we've been putting out.
Yeah, that's a recommendation. So
Correct.
it's from me. That's this body's decision on what to do. The mayor at the briefing indicated that, we want to give some leeway. We don't want to just run around and tell them get out. But
For sure,
they
absolutely.
have been aware of this for many, many, many months. So
And that's why I'd like to see it added out here in writing for the next reading, so that way the business.
If the council could clarify it before second reading, so I can make the edit, otherwise I will be having to make it at second reading.
Sure.
Right.
Unless you want me to do that, that's fine, but clarification would be great, so then when I'm making
Correct.
the IB potential tweak, I can also add in that delay period that you agree to.
And I agree, it should be clarified, because as business owners, they probably want to know how much time do they have before they have to get out of there.
Yeah, so you,
Right.
mayor's 100, you guys have to decide what, if any, you want.
right. So I guess we'll have a discussion with the council, or we might have to have a meeting regarding, because you weren't here at the meeting when we discussed. So I'll have Jackie pull the audio on that portion to see what the consensus was at that day, and we can go from there. But I thought it was 60 to 90 days, so that's what I understand. But either we'll call for another meeting, or we'll go ahead and see what happened at the
Just send me
meeting.
that if you like.
Yeah, I'd like to see what the meeting, what the consensus was, so we'll look at it again. I know Councilman Al-Sawafi wasn't there, so we'll look into it and see, and then we can go from there.
Right, no, and you guys probably discussed it, but it was never translated in words. I wasn't there because I was fulfilling my National Guard duties. That's why my beard is shaved, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, that was-
What do you mean unfortunately?
I like to keep my beard, but when in uniform, I have to shave my beard. And then that's why sometimes you see me with a beard, without a beard, with a beard, without a beard.
All right. One second, Councilman Enos?
Yeah, with food truck licenses, are we gonna put a cap on that, how many we pass out licenses?
We haven't gotten that far on it. It was the first reading. The biggest concern was where could they go? And as you were at the meeting, and I know that we talked about, the biggest issue is that you can't, and because what's happened, and the residents know this is turned into not just a food truck. A food truck actually is a truck selling food. We started morphing off into trailers, generators, grease dumping in alleyways, extension cords running through driveways and across. So this is to begin that aspect to get us into control and protect our business brick and mortars that are paying the taxes and go from there. And there has been success. There's people that started food trucks and now are opening brick and mortars. So it does work. We want to keep the opportunity for them, but we haven't got down to nailing that yet. This has been over a year, I think, we've been working on this, so to find a common ground that we can get all. And I think we all agree regarding the grease, because there was data supported from the administration and the mayor that grease was being poured into drains and into our sewer system. So that's why you see in there that they require extraction of it. So we're probably gonna have to set another meeting to get this nailed down, and we can go from there.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Abraham.
Thank you, Council President. I just have a few different comments. I'm going to bounce around. First, I'm very pleased to see that the generators will be prohibited from the usage in these areas. I've had several conversations with the fire chief and the mayor regarding my second safety concern, which is the propane tanks. And I know we're still doing some work on that, but I'd really like to see the propane tanks be caged and fixed to the body of the truck or the trailer when it's in use, to not have the propane tanks in the open, subject to falling and rolling and being unsafe. There are safety standards and fire standards for how propane tanks should be stored for a business, and I'd like to see that integrated into this ordinance, if not for the second reading, at some point in the very near future. And then my third and final comment regarding the IB, I'll just say I'm not in favor of that at this point. I think a lot of the areas that are conducive to this type of business activity in the IB realistically should be rezoned to IA so that it becomes less intensive. If it's compatible with this use, then maybe it needs to be IA and not IB, which is better for the community at large as we decrease the intensity of our zoning, especially our industrial zoning, trying to improve air quality and water quality, and minimizing the amount and the intensity of industrial, to me, should be a goal that we all have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Abraham. So, Jackie, you have the notes, and then for the, Mr. Romer, if you can get us the copy of the version and leave blank the number of days in there so that we can get this to the council, because we'll have to schedule this before the next reading.
Yeah.
As far as the days for
The delayed start?
the delayed start.
So just add it in, but leave it blank.
Yeah, leave it blank, because we got to figure out whether it's 30, 60, 90, what's the most appropriate.
Understood.
And then Councilman Abraham's points and Councilman Hammoud's regarding the change of the zoning direction, we'll also pick that up in a meeting as well, so we can get that resolved. All right, any other questions or comments on this? All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first reading?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 25-1839, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Dearborn by amending Article 1.00 entitled Short Title Rules and Construction and Definitions, Article 4.00 entitled Off-Street Parking and Loading Requirements, Article 7.00 entitled Site Development Standards Applicable to Specific Uses, Article 16.00 entitled BC, General Business District, and Article 18 entitled IA Light Industrial District.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any other questions or comments on this? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 18, ordinance number 25-1840, introduced by Council President Pro Tem Herrick. Synopsis: an ordinance to amend the Licenses and Business Regulations Chapter 12 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 7 entitled Street Vendors. Resolution by Council Members Enos and Abraham to table the ordinance.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Street vendors in the city are primarily regulated under Chapter 12, Article 7 of the Code of Ordinances. The ordinance establishes minimum standards for licensing encompassing insurance requirements and designated operational locations for vendors. The proposed amendments aim to clarify guidelines for vendors in special events, including multi-vendor license applications and permitting vendor stands, on public property during events, which it does not allow now. The following is a summary of some substantive changes that are being proposed. Enable special event organizers to apply for a license on behalf of multiple vendors participating in the event. Require a licensee to sign an agreement that protects the city from any liability and indemnifies it against any property damage or personal injury associated with the vending activities. Vendor stands are permitted on public property and public right-of-ways if the vendor is participating in a special event that is authorized and approved by the city or the city council. The system must be self-contained and independently powered with the option to use public utilities subject to city inspection and approval, and limits generator noise to 80 decibels or lower when measured from 15 feet in the distance. This is the first of 2 readings. Any other questions or comments on this one? Okay, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first reading?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 25-1840, an ordinance to amend the licenses and business regulations chapter 12 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 7 entitled Street Vendors.
All right, thank you, Ms. Clerk. Any other questions or comments? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 19, resolution by council members Herrick and Paris awarding a 1-year contract with up to 4 one-year renewal options available to Brantley Development LLC and Ground Control Property Services, most responsive and responsible proposal, in an amount not to exceed $160,000 for immediate abatement services and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Neighborhood Services Division manages nuisance abatements for the city of Dearborn. This contract establishes performance standards for correcting immediate nuisance abatements to beautify our neighborhoods, keeping up with cleanliness, and reducing vector harborage and keeping pedestrian pathways free and clear from snow and ice at residential and commercial properties. This contract requires before and after photos to be taken at the abatement sites, as well as daily or weekly reporting requirements for complete abatements. The value of the new contract is based on the previous year's demand for immediate abatement services. Unit prices are $70 per lot for residential and $120 per lot for commercial properties. The Department of Economic Development, ED, and Neighborhood Services Division, in conjunction with purchasing, recommends the award of this contract to Brantley Development and Ground Control Property Services, so both of them. The contract shall be for a period of 1 year, up to 4 one-year renewals. Options contingent on satisfactory performance, of course, by the contractor. This requested amount is not to exceed $160,000, and immediate effect is being requested. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 20, resolution by council members Abraham and Herrick awarding a contract with 4 one-year renewal options available to University Litho Printers, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $76,835 for the design, printing, and mailing of the City of Dearborn Fall 2025, Winter 2026 City Magazine, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Communications Department is seeking to create a biannual City of Dearborn magazine to be mailed to all Dearborn residents. The magazine will address the topics covered in our seasonal parks and recreation guide, activity guide, in addition to listing free events, family activities, and important meeting dates hosted by all city departments. The magazine will also provide seasonal specific information such as property maintenance guideline, tax season information, snow emergency instructions, just to name a few. Communications, in conjunction with purchasing, recommends a competitive award of the design, printing, and mailing of the City of Dearborn magazine to Universal Litho Printers Incorporated in the amount of $76,835. The contract will be for 2025, which encompasses all of the first issue of the magazine, with 4 one-year renewals at the same pricing and terms in the amount not to exceed $76,835. The full-color multilingual 40-page magazine will be designed, printed, and mailed to all Dearborn residents, and a PDF copy will be provided on the city website as well. It is requested the council authorize this contract and the renewals, and immediate effect is being requested to get the process started. Any questions or comments on the magazine? Councilwoman Herrick.
I'd just like to thank the administration for working on this project. I'm excited that we're going to be having a magazine that highlights all the wonderful things the city is doing, and making it clear to residents who might not be on social media. They can see the things we've been up to, as well as for people that might be visiting our city and pick up a copy of this magazine, because we have a lot to share, and we deserve to have a publication that reflects all the work that's being done to provide great opportunities for residents and visitors.
Thank you, Councilwoman Herrick. Any other questions or comments? All right, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 21, resolution by council members Herrick and Paris authorizing to accept the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, known as a LEO grant, for fire department facility projects and improvements in the amount of $5 million with no local match required. Also authorizing the finance director or designee to recognize and appropriate the grant funding in the amount of $5 million for fire department facilities projects and improvements.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The fire department was awarded $5 million in grant for the fire department facilities projects and improvements through the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunities. A facility assessment was recently conducted on all fire department properties, and the facility improvement projects will soon be out for bid. This grant does not require a local match. The fire department is requesting the council accept and authorize the finance director or his designee to recognize and appropriate the $5 million from the Michigan Department of LEO abbreviated grants. These funds are fire department facility projects and improvements, and the fire department is prepared to begin the procurement process on numerous projects, repairs, and upgrades on our fire department facilities with these funds. And I know our chief is here to speak on it. Chief Murray?
Good evening, Council President, Council. Yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to say we're very excited about this project. So I know the council always gives me credit for the grants I get, but I had nothing to do with this, and I just want to acknowledge Mayor Hammoud. So he did a lot of advocating with the state so that we can get this money. And I've been here 20 years. It's probably the single biggest investment that we've put into the fire stations is $5 million. So we got a lot of good projects. We already have a committee working on them, and we're really excited to get them done. But our stations are 59 years old, so this is going to come in handy in a lot of different ways. But I just wanted to, again, thank the council for accepting. Thank you, Mayor Hammoud, for advocating on our behalf so that we can get these funds. So.
Well, we do appreciate it, Chief, and I can tell you, I know that our state rep, the mayor worked with, I believe, Farhat, right?
Farhat and Burns, yeah.
To help get us this $5 million. It's really, really needed. Although I love the historic charm of our fire buildings, and they're very well kept by your staff, they do need some love and tender love and care. So this will definitely help improve some, but we appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Councilwoman Herrick? Hang on, Chief.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Chief. And thank you, Mayor, for working to secure this grant, $5 million. You can do a lot of great things. And I know that our council, I always say, we look out for our firefighters, the training, the number of staff that we have, and the equipment to make sure that they can do their job safely and meet the needs across the city of Dearborn. I'm just curious, within the fire stations, how do you get feedback from the firefighters themselves about how we might be able to utilize these kinds of funds to make their day and night living environment and their work safer or more comfortable?
Sure. So we have a division, a support services division. So we've appointed Assistant Chief Mike Weinberger is over that division. So he's been making rounds, talking with different crews, getting some feedback. He also has a very established construction background. So we did contract a third-party company to come in and do assessment of all the stations as well to prioritize what our needs are. So not only did we do like immediate needs, but we did a 10-year plan so we can continue to budget to do the rest of these upgrades. But we're for this project right now, we are focused on getting the roofs done. That's going to be our first project. We'll actually be in front of council the next meeting. We've already bid that out. We're also then trying to do some improvements to the living quarters for the firefighters themselves, the kitchens and the dorms. Those are our big priorities right now. Based on how the bids come back, where we're at financially, we'll make more decisions based on that priority list that we have laid out. So.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Chief, Councilman Paris?
Thank you, Council President. Chief Murray, you know that we talked about this a little bit more at the Committee of the Whole, and I appreciate the information that you've already brought forward then and then now again, because we know that there's been some problems in the past, and I gave the example of the fire station in Melvindale years ago, where we had some real serious issues that we had to evacuate that station for a period of time before we were able to use it. But, you know, there's occupational hazards for your profession to begin with, and I'm really happy that we keep on going through this assessment, what we need to do. I know you made mention of the roofs, the kitchens. It was mentioned actually by Councilwoman Herrick during the Committee of the Whole. What about the turnout gear? And there was the information from Livonia that some of us had heard about in the news. Did we do anything separate with that, the turnout gear? Because going into hazardous conditions, taking that equipment back off in the fire stations, what do we do with that equipment?
So right now, we don't have separate quarters for our turnout gear. So if you're building a new fire station today, that would be something that would be built into the new plans. Because our stations are obviously, like I said, 50 to 90 years old, they're already built out. So we don't have the opportunity for that. What we do to combat that, though, is that we have each of our stations, and actually we just received a grant a few months ago, so we got brand new turnout gear washers. So, and then we also supply our firefighters with 2 sets of gear. So, and that was just approved, another grant by council. So what happens is our firefighters go on a fire, they can immediately come back, put their gear in the washer machine, and while that's getting clean, they have a second set that they can keep on. That way, we keep the exposure to the carcinogens and off-gassing to the minimum that we can. So we do have our turnout gear is stored in the apparatus bay, just because of the footprint of our current stations. But we do everything we can to make sure that we try to mitigate that as much as we can.
Is anything going into the training center?
Not
anything that we need to do cover by some of the proceeds from the $5 million? Anything with the training center?
No, we don't have any plans at this time.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you for your information.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Councilman. All right, any other questions or comments? All right, and any objection to unanimous roll? The unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 22, resolution by council members Enos and Herrick, authorizing on-duty and off-duty members of the fire department to conduct a Stuff the Boot fundraiser drive from May 2nd, 2025 through May 11th, 2025 throughout the city for the Neighbors United Charitable Organization.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Neighbors United is a 501(c) nonprofit organization dedicated to support families in need with a special focus on firefighters battling occupational cancer. Founded in 2019, the organization launched the Walk for the Red initiative to raise awareness and funds for affected firefighters. This annual fundraiser was inspired by the increasing issues regarding occupational cancer among firefighters, now recognized as the leading cause of on-the-line duty deaths in that profession. The Dearborn Fire Department and Neighbors United are requesting the approval for the Stuff the Boot collection in the city of Dearborn, scheduled for May 2nd through May 11th. So if you see people out there with the boot, drop some change in there for them. This event aims to raise funds for 47 Michigan firefighters affected by cancer and their families, including the family of our own Captain Jeremy Watkins. Last year was a great success and raised nearly $25,000. The Dearborn Fire Department also won the Fire Department fundraising challenge and received a unique plaque. We didn't see that, Chief. You got the plaque? We know how to raise money in Dearborn, so that's a very good point. So we appreciate it. I'm glad we won that. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 23, resolution by council members Herrick and Abraham granting the request of the Green Brain Comics to conduct their 24th annual Free Comic Book Day event in the city-owned alley located north of Michigan Avenue between Middlesex and Horger Street from 4 p.m. on Friday, May 2nd, 2025 to 3 p.m. on Sunday, May 4th, 2025. Also granting permission to erect a non-stake 20 by 40 foot tent in the city-owned alley Also for 6 barricades to be delivered and picked up by the Department of Public Works, and authorizing a noise ordinance waiver for the duration of the event and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Green Brain Free Comic Book Day is an open house event that features free comics, local creators and writers and artists workshop, and children's craft tables as well. On May 3rd, 2025, the Green Brain Free Comic Book Day event is celebrating its 24th anniversary, and along with 2,000 other shops worldwide in all 50 states, we'll be giving away more than 3.3 million comic books. To successfully conduct this event, Green Brain Comics respectfully requests the City Council approval for the following: a closure and use of the city-owned alley north of Michigan Avenue between Middlesex and Horger Streets between 4 p.m. on Friday, May 2nd, 2025, to approximately 3 p.m. on Sunday, May 4th of 2025. Permission to erect a non-staked 20 by 40-inch tent in the city-owned alley as well, and 6 barricades to be delivered and picked up by our DPW for the event as well. The city ordinance is also being asked to be waived as well with immediate effect. I know we have somebody here from Green Brain Comments. I don't know if you want to make any comment. I can tell you that I went to one of these events a few years back. My son now is in college. We had a great time. The quality of the comic books and the amount of people that come out to this event is excellent, and we appreciate it. If you'd like to step forward, I know things are getting by me, so I would say recently moved, but it's been a couple of years now since you guys moved down the street, right? If you'd like to speak on it.
Yes, hi, my name is Katie Merritt, and I am co-owner of Green Brain Comics here in East Dearborn. We are, as you said, having our Free Comic Book Day event. We've been having it every year. It's been an outdoor tented event now for at least 15 years after the previous mayor encouraged us to move it outside since it was so congested inside the store.
That's right.
Also, every year he would proclaim it Free Comic Book Day in Dearborn and present us with a proclamation, which we've continued the tradition with the new administration. I know that Mayor Hammoud was out a couple years ago, and the fire chief was out last year, which we also participated in the Fill the Boot. So our Free Comic Book Day participants added to that total that Dearborn raised for that campaign as well. We also have a food drive for Gleaners Food Bank, and the animal shelter, the Friends for the Animals, will be there as well with an adoptable pet. So we're doing
that's
other
great.
community, and they've been there every year for at least 10 years now as well. We'll, under the tent, we'll have local artists, including Dearborn resident Sean Peacock, who not only is a Dearborn resident, a former employee of our store, but also has published work and a major publisher that will be part of the Free Comic Book Day promotion. So the industry-wide promotion is going to feature the work of a Dearborn resident. So all those other thousands of stores around the country will also be passing out the Dearborn residents' work in their Free Comic Book Day offering. So it's a huge event for the local talent here as well. I know that the proclamation invitation to present again this year was submitted, but if you cannot make it again this year, you are 100% invited to come to our event, Mayor. But if you can't, or in addition, I would like to also invite all the council members to come to our event and see what it's all about as well.
Well, we do appreciate that. So, and I know I've been to it. I know some of my colleagues have been to it too, so we do appreciate the invitation.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
keep up the good work. How long ago did you guys move? Because I can't remember.
We've been in our new building for 10 years.
No.
For
See
10 and a
that?
half years.
I said you just moved. It's been 10 years.
Yep, and then we were previously down on the other side of Schaefer. And also this year, like our original business, which was called Comics Plus, which was on the next block over, opened in 1985. So we are celebrating our 40th anniversary here in Dearborn this year as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Sure. Any
Appreciate it.
questions?
Say hi to your husband too as well.
I will.
We'll follow up
Thank you.
soon, sorry.
I'm sorry.
We'll follow up soon on the request.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Absolutely. We have one more. That's it. Councilman Enos.
Will you be selling those nice T-shirts at the event as well?
Yes, these t-shirts are for sale.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate all your work. Any other questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Yep, Councilwoman Herrick.
My son and I were talking about Green Brain because years ago I took him there as well for Free Comic Book Day. And one of the things that we came up with is a little slogan just for the two of us, but if you wanted to borrow it, comic books aren't always something to laugh at. There is so much at Green Brain that if you have not been in there, it's not just Archie comics or whatever the current comic of the day. There are books and memorabilia, things that you can buy, posters, all kinds of things in there. And it can be very thought-provoking, and you can have some great conversations based on what you see in there. And what I really appreciate is that you draw from, Green Brain draws people from so far away to come here just to experience what they have, because it's pretty unique, and it's a great addition to our business district in East Dearborn. So thank you so much for 40 years of service, Katie and Dan.
Thank you, thank you. All right, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Good luck. Next item.
Item 24, resolution by council members Abraham and Hamud, authorizing Corporation Council to amend the guidelines regarding side yard sales to create consistency with the land sales guidelines for new single-family home construction and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. To ensure alignment with land sale guidelines for a new single-family home construction, we have been, which has been amended over time, it is proposed that the guidelines regarding side yard sales be revised as well. The revisions include removing no variance condition, allowing administrative review for requests to extend closing deadlines, and increasing the processing fee from $100 to $250. Additionally, it is recommended that certain wording with the guidelines be updated to clarify that they are in an internal document. Revised guidelines regarding side yard sales are being proposed will create consistency with the regular land sale guideline as well for single-family homes, and immediate effect is being requested. I know we had asked for information and received this regarding that. Is there any other questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 25, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos concurring in the appointment of Alawi Salah to the Traffic Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2026, and requesting immediate effect.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. And to our residents, I just wanted to remind everybody, our boards and commissions are very, very important. They are volunteer boards, and we appreciate everyone for serving their community in any capacity that you can, and this is a great way to do it. So Mr. Sala is being appointed to the Traffic Commission for a 3-year term that will end June 30th, 2026. Is there any questions or comments on this? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 26, resolution by council members Paris and Hamud concurring in the appointment of Amy Carrick to the Dix-Werner Business District Improvement Authority with a term ending June 30th, 2025, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. And again, another appointment for Mr. Kirk, Amy Kirk, Ms. Kirk, to the Dix-Werner Business District Improvement Authority. The vacancy will be filled and will be ending June 30th, 2025 to complete another term that was reappointed for the time going through July of 2025 as well. So I'd like to again thank everybody for their service on the commissions. Any questions or comments? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
That concludes the items for tonight's agenda.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Before I open up to my other colleagues, I just want to make a few highlights for residents out there watching or would like to come. Our budget study sessions have begun. Our next budget study session is tomorrow evening in the council chambers. These meetings are open to the public. The full schedule along with supporting documents are listed on the city website. So if anybody would like to stop by and go through budgetary lines, we have a couple extra rulers. You're more than welcome to show up. I also wanted to wish everyone that is observing a very happy Easter. I do not believe our next meeting will be coming on that time, so wish everyone a happy Easter. A lot of events that happen around town. I know that there was one in my backyard for years back on Law at the Cherry Hill Park. So anybody that has children want to participate, wish you a happy Easter and from there on. And then I'd like to recognize and make sure that everybody knows with the social media that has been going out. I don't know if our team is here, communications department. Excellent, excellent videos. Mayor, I wanted to be in that video calling you about the state of the city. Where they, with, who was that? Drake, with Drake. Excellent video. My kids loved it. I should have asked for that, but I heard when you let the idea know, somebody else puts a video out first, so I wanted to make sure I gave you a chance. So April 15th, folks, State of the City. We are in great shape. If you'd like to come to the event, the mayor is going to be speaking about where we've been, and of course, always where we're going. It's not something we do yearly. Every few years it has been done, even through the past administration. So I want to remind everybody, April 15th we will be having at the Ford Community Performing Arts Center, our state of the city. So hopefully we'll see you all there. If not, you can catch it broadcasted again. Anything from my council members? Councilwoman Herrick.
Thank you, Council President. April is Arts Month in Dearborn. We've been celebrating Arts Month sort of officially for more than 10 years now. We heard from Green Brain Comics a little bit ago, and they are one of our art galleries in Dearborn. I mentioned that they have posters and things, but the art that you find at Green Brain is unparalleled elsewhere in Dearborn for that type of art. We also have other spots in Dearborn where you might want to go visit for special activities and exhibits. But I just wanted to draw attention to some of the larger events that are happening, coordinated by the Dearborn Community Fund in partnership with the Dearborn Public Schools and other entities. First of all, the Dearborn Public Schools All Schools Art Show is still going on at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center and in the Pajewski Gallery there. Check out the amazing work of students from kindergarten through high school, especially if you can get in to see the senior artists who have been selected by their teachers at the various high schools. One student gets an exhibit of their own, and it's just amazing what our talented students can do. So that's continuing on. Second, this Saturday is the Arty Party from 1 until 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. It's a free public art event at Art Space in the old Dearborn City Hall Art Space lofts and at Fishnet Studios, which is just behind them. You can see artists at work in their workspace, participate in art activities, enjoy music, and other things, family-friendly event. That's this Saturday, celebrating the arts here in Dearborn. Friday night, the Dearborn Symphony concert at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center at 8 p.m. So come see our award-winning symphony. There is a charge to attend to see them, but most of the other activities that we're doing for Arts Month are free. On Thursday, April 24th, please join us at the gallery in the first floor of the Henry Ford Centennial Library, which will be dedicated and renamed in honor of Emma Jean Woodyard, Executive Director of the Dearborn Community Fund. She has dedicated her life to promoting the arts here in Dearborn, uplifting artists, and giving people of all ages the opportunity to experience art and make art and see art across the city. And then finally, I wanted to note that the Mayor's Arts Awards takes place on April 28th at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center, where we will recognize outstanding artists from Dearborn, art organization, art instructors, and the Mayor's own Arts Award, which is not a particular category, just who the mayor selects that he'd like to recognize during the Mayor's Arts Awards. And then finally, I wanted to note that our Pockets of Perception student design team, which is also part of a project of the Community Fund, has the team of high school students has come together for 12 years now, I think, to produce a permanent art installation here in Dearborn. It began with sculptures that we have at our old City Hall Park, and the Pocket Park in in West Dearborn, and now it's moved into student design teams over the past few years have been doing permanent murals. We have one at the side of Salina School in the South End that is just huge and breathtaking. And then last year they did the mural that's behind the Performing Arts Center. Very colorful, and if you walk up and take a look, you'll see scenes from throughout Dearborn the team did last year. Well, if you know a student who's going to be entering 11th grade this next year and would like to have an apprentice experience working with a professional artist and making a little bit of money and good friends along the way, applications are due at the Dearborn Community Fund on April 11th. So go online and find the application for that, because it's a really cool experience for young people. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilman Paris.
Thank you, Council President. Council President, I appreciate you bringing up about the budget meetings coming forward. They're very important. That is the priority responsibility of this council is to go ahead and get the budget hopefully approved, which I like a lot of things that are going on in these budget meetings so far. We have another week or so of this budget process before other public hearings. I just wanted to make mention that there really has been a strong emphasis by even myself, the last meeting that we had in regards to trash issues, litter pickup, ways of remedying the situation. And I know the administration has come forward with a lot of information. I know fellow council members have also done the same thing, voiced that, because we're hearing from you. There's a lot of things that are going on with these budget issues, and I know the various departments that are involved in that, they hear it. You know, we all hear it, so I'm looking forward that we can try to do some things. Just a couple things to bring up, though. I know it's been made mention before about issues of, what do they call it, loitering at the intersections and begging for money. That we had several people that were living near the wall at the dead end of Drexel and Mayburn, south of Ford Road and west of Telegraph. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because just on the way to the meeting tonight, see two people behind the wall making an encampment right at the dead end again on the north side of that wall. And I know we've looked into it before. I don't know if we have our caseworker from the police department yet, the social worker, or a means to at least check them out, see that we can get them some assistance that they needed just to remedy the situation, because we can't have people in encampments, you know, apparently that way. Anyways, I saw it for myself tonight on the way here. Just one other issue that I'd like to bring up. I know that there was previously reported by me a light pole that was down on the north side of Michigan Avenue between Oakman and Miller, closer to Oakman. That was several weeks ago. I just went by again recently. Now there are 2 light poles that are down. It's not within the last few days though, but I just wanted to make sure if somebody could take a look at that again. It serves as a hazard to pedestrians, to anybody with a bicycle, anybody walking that way. So if we can possibly look at that again, I would appreciate it. Other than that, I thank you.
All right, appreciate it, Councilman. And then regarding the encampment, what's the, do you have the, I missed the area because I want to make sure our director, yeah, because that's not allowed at all. So I just want to make sure we get the right information. I appreciate it. I've been very vocal about these people in the free speech, that they're allowed to be on the road, but impeding in the traffic and building structures and stuff like that, that can't happen at all, at any time. So I appreciate you bringing that up, Councilman Paris, but just for the record, again, I want to give the director the area, because we have to get that done. I don't know if it's the chief, or we're going to send Clean Streets or DPW. What was the location? Councilman Paris, the location?
It would be Drexel and Mayburn on the other side of the brick wall, south of Ford Road.
All right, thank you. So I just, Jackie, make sure you put that as a request from the council, because, yeah, setting up shop somewhere and it's free speech is different than, you know, making it permanent or temporary type of structure.
And it's behind the line of trees, so it's concealed.
Behind the line of trees, okay. We'll get to it, but make sure, Chief, if it's your department, or Director Hawkins, if it ends up being yours in the Clean Streets, just send back a response to the council so they can go out to all council members. Councilman Herrick, you had something to follow up?
Thank you. Yeah, actually, there were 2 things that I wanted to mention. Just a reminder, we talk about the value of trees and the positive impact they have on our environment, absorbing water, cleaning the air, and that we've made great effort here with the administration to plant trees in public spaces and on easements, and even making a free easement tree available to any house that doesn't have one at this current time. They can contact the city here, call the main number at 943-2150 and give your address and ask that the city come out and evaluate the spot for trees. But sadly, some people take it into their own hands to cut down trees on easements. And I would just, could we just confirm that you can't do this? This is public property. It's destruction of public property, and the negative impact it has on your neighbors. You know, decreasing obviously the environmental benefits, but just the beauty of some of the trees, and that neighbors get distraught when the tree line on their street is damaged. And there was an incident where apparently somebody cut down 3 trees of varying maturity on a side street in a neighborhood where there are some residents who've been walking and are really upset about it right now. So I want to remind folks about that, and also ask the administration, please, let's think about what we can do to make sure that residents are aware that they can't take that into their own hands. If there's a concern about the safety of a tree, notify the administration, and we'll have somebody come out and evaluate the tree and remove it properly if there's a danger of that tree being there.
All right, well, thank you, Councilwoman. And just to remind everybody too as well, I mean, the free trees are still, actually can even request it on your own property. Is that correct, Mayor? We have enough. And then, I'm sure, did you put that through Monday.com with an address? I know you probably don't want
Not
to
yet.
put the address on
Not
the
yet.
street.
Yeah.
All right. But in order to, like I said in many times, if we want things fixed, we need the address, because you can't hide 3 trees being chopped down, and we can get to the bottom of it. So hopefully you provide the address, and then we'll
Yeah.
go from there. Okay.
And then,
You had something else?
Yeah, one more thing. Somebody just notified me. On Paul Street, west of Greenfield, there's been some apparently illegal dumping of cement chunks and things like that on Paul Street. And it's on the Dearborn side of Paul, because that's a border street. So if we could get somebody out to take a look at that, please.
Yeah, absolutely, Jackie. Just add that to the immediate abatement. So we'll get the Clean Streets crew, which that's why we funded that crew, so we can get that cleaned up. But we'll find out who's responsible later. But we definitely got to get it cleaned up. Thank you for bringing that to our
Thank you.
attention. All right, anything else from anyone else at the council? Okay, anything, Mayor, from the administration?
I think Councilwoman Herrick covered the year.
Some of that stuff's in the calendar, right?
Yeah.
Some of it.
No, honestly, I think you spoke to the state of the city that we have.
That's right.
We're kicking off our neighborhood walks again as a city this week. We'll begin Thursday in the Salina neighborhood, which these are the walks I do with city staff to go through and check out the major problems across neighborhoods. But yeah, no, I think you guys spoke to the rest of it.
Excellent, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Clerk, anything from your department?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. At this time, we will then open it to our final public comment portion. Anybody here to address the council regarding city business, please step forward or fill out a card. All right, seeing and hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by Councilwoman Herrick. We are adjourned.